Hey, what is going on, Pisces? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. Going to be using the Tarot of Dreams. As many of you know, it's one of my favorite decks, probably in the top 3 for sure. I'm always interested in new decks, so if you want to comment down below, what deck do you like the most? And if I see some that I haven't heard of, I'm definitely going to check them out. I have a pretty big collection now, so a lot of the ones I get suggested to, I do have. I don't always use all of them, but if there's one that you like, and put it down there. And if anybody sees one that they like too, and somebody's already mentioned it, comment on theirs, comment your own, or just like it. Give me some ideas. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Pisces? What's going on for Pisces? Let me adjust my seat here. All right, Pisces. So the first thing I'm seeing is I feel like I feel like this energy I'm picking up is somebody that you already know. Now, how far you are into a relationship or how close you are to a relationship with this person, it's not really telling me that. It's just telling me that there's definitely an energy around you. Now, I feel like with this person, I feel like there's a very closed off energy with this person, so I feel like that gives you some pause. We have the 8 of Swords. So I feel like there's like that self-imposed prison. Like this person kind of has you on the outside looking in, and you're not really sure how they feel about you. I feel like you have an amazing connection with this person, but it's like, how do they feel about how they feel about you, and not knowing that can drive a person crazy. There's this sleepless nights, this anxiety, feeling like you met the right one, but if it was the right one, why isn't it seamlessly falling into place? Why is it so difficult? Why is things not, when you're meant to be, it should just fall into place is the mindset that we have, but it's not always that way. It's not always black and white like that. And I feel like with this person, I feel like you don't want to walk away, but I feel like you contemplate it, because it's like, where am I putting my energy? Why am I putting my energy into this person? Especially if they don't want what I want, am I wasting my time? And I feel like there's a lot of contemplation going on, and that's what's causing that late nights anxiety with that 9 of Swords. Like I said, not knowing how this person truly feels about you, I feel like it's kind of eating you up. Because like I said, you feel this incredible bond with this person, and you're not wrong. Your intuition is telling you something, and it's not wrong. I'm going to tell you that right at the start to save you the grief. We have the Two of Cups, and they have the High Priestess. So the Two of Cups is that strong bond that you have. This is a lifelong bond with this person. And with that High Priestess, it's about trusting your intuition. I feel like you know what you know. There's a reason why you're drawn to this person. There's a reason why you feel connected to this person. It's not just dumb luck. There's something here. But with their, like I said, that closed off energy, that self-imposed prison. The self-imposed prison, the reason I say that about the Eight of Swords is because it's almost like you're in a prison cell. You're shut off from the world. But you have the key in your pocket, meaning it's a self-imposed prison. Like, you can get out anytime you want. Now, I feel like there's a reason why you're kind of back and forth with this person. I feel like this person does show up. I feel like this person, they do make you feel safe. We have the Emperor, and we have the Eight of Pentacles of putting in the work. I feel like this person shows up for you. And I feel like this person makes you feel safe. It's like that person that you just, at the end of the day, you feel like you can rely on them. There's also this establishment of trust. Like, you feel like you can trust this person. I feel like the only real complication is you don't know how they truly feel. And there's a reason for that, and we're going to get into that. I feel like this connection with this person, first off, we have the moon. I feel like their imagination is getting the best of them. I feel like, I feel this connection that they have to you is just as deep as the connection you have to them. And I feel like their feelings are real with that King of Cups. But with that King of Cups, it's that emotional maturity. It's like sometimes you can be overwhelmed, but you still push on. And that's what this person is doing. They're still pushing on. They're overwhelmed because they never felt this way before. I feel like this is the first real time for this person that they've ever really felt truly connected to someone. And that shit for the first time can be scary. Not all people feel love and just jump right in. Not all people that feel love can just open up. This person knows what they want, and that's what we need to focus on. I feel like you have this isn't just this isn't just a lover. This is a best friend. And these feelings, they know what they want. This person knows what they want. And I feel like you are on the same page that way. I feel like it can be hard to see that in the way this person acts. And I feel like you have a physical connection, which I feel like comes off a little bit more naturally. So sometimes we may even, be in our thoughts thinking, is this just physical for them? It's not. I'm here to tell you what I'm seeing is not that at all. I feel like that side just comes a little bit more naturally. As we all know, physical can come easier than mental or emotional connections. You can, honestly, I know that sounds kind of crass, but you can actually be physically connected to a lot of people. Not many people you're going to be mentally connected to, even less you're going to be emotionally connected to. But, like I said, I feel like it's a big change for this person, but one they're, it's a new change. It's big changes with that Six of Swords, but the Chariot. This person wants to move forward. They want to keep going. So it's almost like it's a matter of being patient with them. Because I feel like you are going to get what you want. I feel like you're going to get what you want. I feel like sometimes it's hard to, slow it down, especially when it's feeling this deep. This person doesn't just want you. They need you. You're opening their eyes to something they've never been open to. I don't feel like this person's ever been this connected to anyone in their life, and it's just new for them. But what I see, I mean, I feel like there's going to be no regrets, because I do feel like what you want from this person, you're going to get. The Three of Wands, I mean, that ship is coming in. You know, it's just taking a little longer to dock. You know what I mean? The ship has come in. That, you know, this is what you've been waiting for. It's just, it's. You know, when you're waiting for something, and then it just, when you get close to the moment that you've been waiting for, things start to slow down. You know, time starts to tick away, and it's just like, it feels like a minute feels like an hour. And I know that's the feeling that I see with this read, is I feel like it just feels like all these emotions are surrounding you, and you know, you feel so connected to this person, but you don't. You're kind of on the outside looking in on how they feel about you. You know, you're inspiring something in this person, and it's a huge change for this person. Like I said, with that Six of Swords, but they're coming around, Pisces. You know, this isn't the end; it's the beginning. You know, and that's one thing. When we'll get into that. I feel like I don't want to take up your read with that. Like I said, they know what they want, and I feel like they are coming around, and I feel like you're going to get everything you want from this person and more. You know, I feel like it's an establishment of trust. I feel like you're on the same page. I feel like it can be frustrating, but trust me when I say this. Like when I said, you know, it's not just physical. Your intuition is telling you, and it's time to listen. I see a lot of happiness coming towards you. I mean, we have the Sun card and the Nine of Cups, the emotional fulfillment. You know, I feel like nurturing, you know, with that Aquarius, the star, you know, nurturing this connection. It won't be a mistake. You know, nurturing this connection, being patient with it, you're going to get what you want. Because this is what they want. And I know sometimes we want, you know, we want, when we feel this deeply for someone, we want to be reciprocated. Don't rush that. It'll come. You know, just because they're not saying it doesn't mean they don't mean it. You know, this is the beginning of a new journey. They're all in. You know, and I feel like it's new for them. You know, the whole the true love experience of this all. Like, this is a deep connection. Like I said, a deep emotional connection, and it's not something they're used to, but they're getting there, and they're pushing through. Like I said, with that King of Cups, it's the emotional maturity. You know, and sometimes when we get to that place, I feel like being around that person that makes us feel that way, we get to that place. And sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. You know, I feel like they're overwhelmed by their emotions towards you. The feelings they have towards you, they're overwhelmed by it. But they're working through it because they know what they want. You know, and I feel like that much needed communication that you want from this person is coming. You know, you spark something in this person they never had sparked in them before. You know, it's basically like if you're a NASCAR driver, and then, you know, you meet someone and you're the one that's always driving. You're a great driver. You're a professional. Then you meet this person and you're like, oh, hey, you want to drive? And the first time they ever drove, it's not going to be pretty. But with someone with your experience, they're bringing something to the table that you need, and you're bringing something to the table that they need. And like I said, they don't just love you, they don't just want you, they need you. And I feel like vice versa. You need each other. You know, like I said, this isn't just a physical which I do feel a lot of intensity in that department, but I feel like that comes a little easier for some people. But there's something deeper in that. This isn't just a new friend, a new lover. This is your best friend. And those are the types of connections that, that's, you're bonded for life, like I said, with that Two of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles is always that slow and steady energy. You're getting there. It's like that rabbit in the hare, the old story. I don't know if you guys heard that when I was a kid. When I was a kid in school, they told us about that. And it's just like, they take their time, but they get there, Slow and steady wins the race. But I mean, this is the person you want to be in your own personal cave with, that person you want to share a foxhole with, because like I said, this person has you. They got your back. That won't change. How they approach this connection will change. I feel like it's already starting to change. When you're set in a way, sometimes it's hard to break free of that. But it becomes much easier to break free of that if you want to. It's like anything else in life. You can't change someone unless they want to be changed. And this person is all in. With this person, we have Pisces, we have Cancer. We have Sagittarius. We have some Aries. We have Aquarius and Gemini. We also have some Taurus too. What I was going to say is, now that the read's over, people that don't want to hear me yammer on, they're free to go and they got their read. I have to stop myself sometimes during the read from going off into some ramble. My mind works a million miles a minute, and my mouth has a hard time keeping up with it. But anyway, what I was going to say is, it almost feels like an emotional awakening for this person. It almost feels like an awakening in general. And I feel like a lot of us have been through that, so we can understand it. Some haven't. Some are still going through it. When you get to that place where you're having that awakening, and I feel like a lot of free-thinking people get there, probably already been there, or like I said, they're going through it. It's the most incredible feeling, but it's not a cakewalk. On the other side, it's incredible. It feels amazing. Anybody that's going through that right now, or just entering that stage in their life, where they're becoming awake. It's like my buddy always says. It's like it's like that movie, The Matrix. When you finally awake, it's not easy. And anybody that told you it was easy, I'm sorry to tell you that they lied to you. It's like a reprogramming, if you want to, in a very very rough example. It's a reprogramming of sorts. A lot of people go through it, and it's about tearing down those walls that were holding you in, and building walls that protect you. It's very different. You can be in a house with 4 walls and feel safe at your home. Or you can be in a prison cell with 4 prison cell walls and not feel so safe. It's about during my time when I was going through my own personal awakening, it was like you were you're taught so many things growing up, and it's about the thought I had when it was happening. It was like painting your car. And I know that sounds very stupid, but bear with me for a minute. When you paint your car, you just don't paint over it. Professional painters don't just paint over your car. They strip it. They take all the old paint. They take it right back to factory. Then they prime it and they paint it. It's not just about painting over, and it's the same with emotions and opening up and finding who you are. You don't just put it on top of who you were. You got to strip it down to who you got to get down to the core and really, open yourself up. And for me, a lot of that stripping was stripping, that old behavior. Like growing up, I never felt loved by anyone. I don't feel like I ever was. That's not necessarily true. Actually, I made a mistake. There was one person, my nan. My nan was the greatest woman who ever lived, in my opinion. She was the most loving. She was 4'10", 4'11". She was a very tiny woman, but she had the biggest heart. And I never felt loved by, my parents, my siblings, other family members, romantic relationships. I never felt loved. And, she always made me feel safe and taken care of. And, she always made me, I did feel love from her. The reason I say I never felt it, when I started to open up and when I started to really get to the core of it all, and breaking away those ideas that you're brought up and that's put on you, when it comes to, family settings, culture, religion, all that stuff, everything is just put on you as a kid, and you're brought up in it. And that thought process, like the man and woman role and, all that toxic masculinity, all that had to be shed away. And I never realized how much she loved me till I started going through that. And I realized that I was loved by someone. And I feel like that's part of it too, is sometimes, sometimes we're just so overwhelmed by things that don't need to be in our life. And that's what part of the awakening is shedding all that shit you don't need. All that shit that it's like having too much on your plate, and I heard this thing, I think it was Tony Robbins. I actually enjoy a lot of his podcasts and stuff because I feel like he has some great advice. But he was saying, if you write down 10 things, or you write down everything that's bothering you, and then you start crossing off the things that you can't change no matter what, nothing you can do to change that. It gives you something that's a little more more negotiable, more handleable. Something that you can actually handleable. Don't think it's a word. Just made it up. I'm going to put it in my own dictionary. But anyway. Say you write down 10 things. And there's 5 or 6 of those things that you can't do a damn thing about. Get rid of them. You don't need them. And I remember hearing him say that. And I actually did it. I wrote down things that bothered me. And I'm telling you, it was a lot more than 10. But I got down to less than half of that when I started to really think about it. But I think everybody's awakening is similar, but also different. And I feel like this is kind of what this person's coming through. And having you there is a huge, huge benefit. And I feel like you're really going to help them. And you helping them, they're going to show up for you as well. You know, I feel like you're helping each other in a sense. You know, I feel like that's what real partnerships do. You know, sometimes you may be lacking something in your life, and that other person may excel at that and have plenty of it. And maybe you have something, plenty of something that they are lacking in. And when you come together, it's, you know, when you're with the one you were meant to be with, your forever person, your soulmate, you know, your true love. You're not two people anymore. You just blend into one. I know I've been talking a lot. I actually read this book about, I think it was in Greek mythology. They talked about how when you're born, you know, you're split into two. You know, the moment you're born, there's two of you. You know, you're splitting the two. And that's the person you're meant to be with. And through the trials and tribulations of life, you know, you find each other again. And when you come together, you're so powerful. I really love the sentiment of it all, but I don't really know. I don't really know. You know, like I always say, I feel like we're born with half a puzzle, and the person we're meant to be with has the other half when they're born. And I feel like when we're finally together, we can see the big picture. But that's just me. You know, hopeless romantic. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe. Love y'all.